Well, the race for the White House is getting to the boiling point right now. Now, first of all, here's where we stand with the delegate counts. Donald Trump's ahead with 469 delegates. Remember, candidates got to reach that magical 1237 delegates to win a nomination to avoid a brokered convention. Joining me now, Representative Darrell Issa. And first, sir, I'd like to talk to you about this GOP revolt, establishment, non-establishment, the crack-up of your party. Can it be saved at this point?
Well, we've never been more united. I hear this all the time on the media, but Charles, I've got to tell you, I've been going around for Marco Rubio, and I've been in 6 states. And I wasn't just going to Rubio events. I was at a cruise event or 2. I was at hotels where there were 4 or 5 different groups there. And I was just in Miami at the convention. And the biggest applause at the convention was when Reince Priebus talked about beating Hillary. We do have a very united party. Could we potentially go and have a multi-ballot convention? Sure we could. It's rare. It was threatened in 1976 by Ronald Reagan. It didn't happen. But the one thing we know that's different now is we know who we don't want. We know the policies that have failed for the last 7.5 years. And we know about the corruption of the Clintons and why they are not fit to serve this country and basically scam billions of dollars instead of hundreds of millions, as they've been doing during Secretary and Senator Clinton's time, as Bill Clinton continued to rake in money leveraging her activities.
Well, I get that there's a common foe. But I just have to sort of respectfully disagree with respect to where the party might be, particularly with the broker convention. You've got these hashtags out there, whether it's Never Cruz, Never Trump. There's going to be something. There's already something going on within the party. The finger pointing, the vitriolic nature of it all. To look the other way, I don't know is necessarily going to be the answer. I mean, even Kasich is hinting that he'll say something in the next 24 hours, perhaps, along the lines of probably saying he'll never vote for Donald Trump if he's a nominee. That cannot help the party.
Well, he might vote for Donald Trump if he's the running mate. So let's not, Charles, look, but you're laughing, but let's think back. I'm old enough to remember all too well voodoo economics coming from the man that would become vice president and the successor to Ronald Reagan. Primaries are tough talk. They're tough talk about relatively small differences. Every one of the candidates running for president wants to break down foreign barriers. Donald Trump is talking about these bad free trade deals, and he says he'll do better deals, but he hasn't said he'll do no deals. So when you look at the party of freedom, the party of pro-business, the party that recognizes that Washington is not the answer, it's no surprise that just like Ronald Reagan, we run campaigns about how, whether you've been to Washington once or twice or not, you're absolutely opposed to thinking that Washington has the answers. And I think that's very healthy for our country, because for over 7 years we've had a president that thinks every answer comes from Pennsylvania Avenue.
I've only got 30 seconds, and I just have to ask on this free trade thing. You think no matter who's elected that we'll just tinker with this, that we won't abandon this, we won't become isolationists, because they're talking about tearing up TPP or not putting it through, tearing up NAFTA, starting from scratch. And there's a lot of people in America saying, why do we have free trade? It's not working. It's cost us a lot of jobs.
Well, all of these candidates point, rightfully so, to failures of past deals to enforce provisions. But most Americans, most of your viewers, believe that if we have zero barriers and they have zero barriers, we can compete and win. We certainly cannot continue to have deals where we take down our barriers and they artificially leave that up. And it doesn't matter whether it's Asia, Europe, or even Canada.
I know they love Harleys and Whirlpool washing machines all over the world.
And Apple phones.
And Apple phones. Representative Issa, thank you very much. Hope to get you on set when you get to New York.
Thanks, Charles.
All right, guys.